Hello and a very happy and Shubh Deepavali to all. Hope it's been a good morning, which is only going to get better now with India taking on Netherlands in their last league game today at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru. Two teams that are at the opposite ends of the spectrum, but this being the last game for Netherlands, expect them to put their best foot forward against an opposition that have been unstoppable. India, make no mistake, will not take this lightly. This is as big a game as any for India. They'd want to end this group stage on a high. Jamie Alter and Chetan Narula are here with us. First of all, guys, welcome to the show. A very happy Diwali. Jamie, you've still not put the lights outside. Maybe you need to do that right after the show. But on a serious note, Chetan's outside the Chinnaswamy. So what is the vibe like, Chetan? Tell us more.
Well, hello Meha and a happy Diwali to all our viewers and obviously to everybody on News9 as well. Well, I know you would have asked me this question first up, what's the vibe like? And the often answer that I give you is it's a sea of blue. It is a sea of blue. It is going to be a packed house again, Diwali, Sunday, whatever. But it's not a sea of blue because the Chinnaswamy is not a big stadium. It's a small stadium. So it's going to be packed. It's going to be absolutely chock-a-block blue. But this video that I just said, this is the most unique thing that I've seen throughout this World Cup. Cutouts of Virat Kohli leading all the way to the Chinnaswamy for each of his 49 hundreds that he scored, a cutout of celebrating that 100th run, celebrating that milestone. 49 cutouts on the footpath leading to the Chinnaswamy. Everybody here, it's Diwali, everybody here on this auspicious occasion is expecting a Virat Kohli number 50. That's the vibe here.
Absolutely, which has been the case, Jamie. First, it was, whether he's going to be able to get to 49. And finally, now that he's got to that 49th ODI 100 and equaled Sachin Tendulkar's record, everyone is waiting for him to sort of get to that milestone and get it over with in this game where nothing is really at stake, in terms of qualification, in terms of a knockout match. Just get it over with. I think that's what everybody would want right now.
Absolutely. Happy Diwali to everyone watching and everyone behind the scenes in the office and studio. Look, I mean, if there's one person, we said it that day, you asked Chetan and I, is Virat Kohli going to get 100 on the occasion? I said he actually is going to, because he's a man who's obsessed with excellence. He's obsessed with numbers in a good way. He's obsessed with constantly just breaking records. I mean, he was, 23, 24 when he told a common friend of ours, Ashwin, sitting in LA, of all places, कि मैं पाजी का record तोड़ दूंगा. The guy was 23, 24. He is that kind of a unique player. So if someone can finally draw level with Sachin after many hurdles, many ups and downs on his 35th birthday, what's to say he's not going to, go past his mentor, his idol, the iconic Sachin Tendulkar, on the day of Diwali. So everything is aligned perfectly. And I'm going to say it, he is going to get that 100 today because he's a man who really rises to the occasion. The host broadcasters have been playing, this interview with him, looking back at the previous Diwali, when a day before Diwali, he scored what they're terming the greatest, T20 innings of all time. The man knows how to put on a good show when the nation, when all of India's cricket fans around the world are watching. And this very, very nice touch that the Chinnaswamy, the folks at the KSCA have added, as Chetan has just revealed, 49 cutouts. If Virat needed 0.1% more to lift himself on Diwali day, I think he's got it. So today is going to be that day.
Yeah. So expect some Diwali fireworks also because of the kind of ground that Chinnaswamy is and what we've seen so far in the tournament, Chetan. It's a small ground. It's a batter's paradise. 401 has been scored here, which Pakistan have ended up winning. This despite New Zealand scoring 401, 367 the other day. So, you can expect that if India bat first today, lot of 4s and 6s flying out.
Absolutely. And I was just inside the stadium and I took a look at the ground. Last time I was here was in 2018, I think, the India-Afghanistan. I'm I'm a little hazy about when that inaugural Test match was for Afghanistan, but I think it was 2018. It's been 5.5 years for me to come back here, but it's that small ground, those small boundaries that you often keep hearing about. You see it in the IPL. It's all there, and then the pitch. You look at the pitch, and it's a batting beauty. So again, a batting beauty which has been laid out for this India-Netherlands game at the Chinnaswamy. And whether it's a bat first game or a bowl first game for India, it doesn't really matter. There's going to be runs. Obviously, if India bat first, there's going to be a lot of runs. I'm expecting India to score 350, 380, maybe even 400, and Virat Kohli will obviously get his chance. But before that, you have Rohit Sharma, who's in stupendous form, Shubman Gill, who's just about getting there. So the entire Indian batting lineup is in good form. And, what can I say? It's going to be a run fest on this most auspicious of occasions, most auspicious of festivals.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I can see a lot of fans going into this stadium. I think you're standing. How far are you away from the stadium?
No, just outside the stadium. Just behind the camera, behind my phone camera is the stadium wall. Really, so it's a very very. Like I said, it's a very small stadium, small ground, and the walls around it are just a boundary to cut it off from the main road. I'm sure you've been here, and all the roads today lead to the Chinnaswamy. So I'm just on the outside, outside the media gate, and there are at least 4-5 stands this way, and another couple stands down to my left. So you have fans all over the place. That's the kind of vibe you get when you come at the Chinnaswamy. I think it's similar at the Wankhede, and it's a little similar to the Chidambaram Chepauk Stadium in Chennai as well. It's a small grounds with entries all across, and you have fans entering from all directions. So yeah, it's a great vibe.
Yeah, I also think, Jamie, this World Cup for this Indian team and Indian fans has been a celebration of sorts, given how well they've played. To think that they won all their games, this being the last game, and two teams that are really at the opposite ends of the spectrum. India right at the top, Netherlands the least fancied team in this tournament. But I feel like this World Cup has been about fans just celebrating this moment with this Indian team, given how well they've performed. So in that sense, it makes sense that on Diwali, India are playing a match. I mean, it's a different thing. They're playing against Netherlands. They could be playing against anybody. But I'm saying just the fact that it's been about celebration and festivity. So it's only right that they play on a festival like Diwali. It's a different thing that we have to work on Diwali, but then so are they.
No, this is the first time apparently since 1987 when any Indian cricket team has played a match on Diwali. The moment the schedule was confirmed, I saw the date. I said that should be around Diwali time, because since I've been watching cricket and since I've been covering cricket, we've always worked the day before and the day after, but never on Diwali day to this magnitude, because India, like I said, since 1987 has not played a match on Diwali, because it is that auspicious day. People like to celebrate. That's it. The BCI always manages to get the match in just before and just after. New Zealand, Sri Lanka, West Indies a couple times, they have played, but this is the first time, like I said, in so long. So fans are expecting it. And what better way than it to be the day which Virat Kohli might and should, in fact, if India bat, I have to add that, if they're chasing, there's not going to be 100, because like Chetan said, there's Rohit Sharma and there's Shubman Gill. Also, the last time Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill played at this ground, we all know what happened, right? RCB batted first. Virat Kohli got a brilliant 100, and then Shubman Gill went and trumped it. And that was the innings where this whole narrative in the media, on social media, started to build. Okay, king, move over, the prince is here. I think Virat Kohli is still going to be the king for a long, long time. It's a tag which the fans have given to him. But, just coming back to what I was saying earlier about the chances of him getting 100. Very, very high, but who's going to get Shubman Gill out at the ground where he last got 100? Who's going to stop Rohit Sharma? But absolutely, from every angle you look at it, like you said, Maya, it's a festival. And I think it's more of a festival because India are 8-0. Had they been 6-2 or 7-1, a little bit of a dampener, they still would have been number 1 or 2. No doubt about that. But it's this celebration that is built up with each passing victory, which I think has made this a very, very important clash. Because otherwise, like you said, India and Netherlands would not have too much going for it.
Chetan wanted to add something. Yes.
The Champions Trophy, the defunct Champions Trophy used to happen around Diwali. The couple of years that it was played, I think it was played 3 years. For the first couple of years, it was around Diwali, and I was new into journalism, and that was my first taste of actually working on Diwali, on that Champions Trophy. But yeah, and also I think with India Netherlands being on Diwali, it kind of everybody's as it is in a festival mood, right? Everybody's enjoying festivities. India Netherlands, it's a chilled out game. You know what you're expecting, an Indian win, and then there is this added thing of Virat Kohli's 50th now. So it's a very chilled out, relaxed day for the Indian fan. I mean, if it was India New Zealand or India Australia, India Pakistan, any other game, any other opponent, there would have been that element of thoda sa tension hai, World Cup hai, etc., etc. But I'm not disrespecting Netherlands, but there's a gulf between the two sides. We have to, take that into account. So from that aspect, and obviously we have to remember that this was supposed to be on November 11th first. So the BCCI tried not to keep this game on Diwali. It was supposed to be the double header that happened yesterday. It was supposed to be on November 12th, but because of the Kolkata security issues, with the Pakistan game, that those two games were shifted to 11th, and this game was moved to 12th. So again, like I said, chilled out day. Everybody's here to watch Virat Kohli, India score some runs and win the game. Festival day.
Love that elderly couple just walking in right behind you. Okay, let's set this up. Let's set this up for everybody. The group stage ends today with host India yet to lose a match playing Netherlands in Bengaluru. A Diwali bonanza as far as the home fans are concerned, with fireworks expected at the Chinnaswamy and its shorter boundaries. India have not been put under serious pressure all tournament, and coach Rahul Dravid indicated no changes will be made today. Though it would not surprise anyone if a couple of bowlers are rested ahead of the semi-final versus New Zealand. The likes of Shubman Gill and KL Rahul would also like some runs given their up and down tournaments. Since Shubman Gill, he returned from his illness. The top-ranked ODI batter has made 250s in 6 innings, and KL Rahul, after starting the World Cup with a 97 not out, he has not reached 40 in 6 subsequent innings. Now, with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli in terrific form, Shreyas Iyer bouncing back with scores of 77 and 82 in successive knocks, getting some good runs from Gill and Rahul before the knockouts would reduce any concerns the Indian team has. For Netherlands, a win would give them 2 points to make the top 8 and thus seal passage to the 2025 Champions Trophy. But this is a mammoth task against the only unbeaten team in the tournament. But you know what? They have this moment where they'll be under the spotlight. Lots of people are watching this Netherlands team today. This is a huge match for them. This is their last chance, even if it means small wins within the match. Can they do that? That's what they'll be looking to do. And let's just go back to Jamie and Chetan. Chetan, I'm just going to come to you, but Jamie, just for India, how important is it right now in this game today? I know everybody's talking about Virat Kohli's 50th, but how important is it that someone like a Shubman Gill gets runs or KL Rahul gets runs just before their semi-final in Wankhede?
It's very, very important, I would say, for every single player who's not performing at optimum level. And in that category, I will put Mohammad Siraj, Shubman Gill, and KL Rahul. KL Rahul, since that 97, he's not done anything. I know a couple of innings were not out, so obviously the overs got done. But he's not looked the same KL Rahul after that brilliant 97 with which India were able to beat Australia. Shubman Gill, we discussed the fact that he comes in after illness, very, very tough to hit top form. He did get a 92, look very good. There was a 53, a couple of starts, aborted starts, we have to say. So, because they own such a massive place in this top 5, you can argue that Mohammad Siraj not being near his best has not really mattered because of how brilliant Bumrah, Shami, and the two spinners have been. But in this game, we've discussed, if that day comes when one bowler has a bad day, who would it be? Would it be Siraj? Would it be Kuldeep? These are the two names that we keep using. So Siraj, he played a lot of cricket at the Chinnaswamy. He knows this ground, whether India is bowling, whether India is defending. I think if he can just add another 3-wicket haul, there'll be a spring in his step going into the semi-finals. And then if Shubman Gill, like I said, Shubman Gill scored a brilliant 100, the 100 which he values as the most important of his entire IPL career. was scored at this match because, like you told me when we had a chat, it came in chasing and hundreds to his mind, to Shubman Gill's mind, make more of a difference when you're chasing, not batting first. So I think a Shubman Gill 100, maybe if KL Rahul does get to bat, I don't know because he bats at number 5. And you look at the top 4 India have, whether they're chasing, whether they're batting first, maybe KL Rahul won't get to bat that much. If he does, another 25-30 not out would do him a world of good too. Beyond that, like I said before, I don't really see any weakness in this Indian team.
You know, what has been the other good thing for this Indian team since they've been winning all the games is that pre and post-match press conferences have become very easy for the captain and the coach. Rahul Dravid, at the pre-match press conference, he spoke to the media and he has praised his team, in particular the captain Rohit Sharma. He says, and I quote, "Some of the starts he has given us, the way he's cracked open games for us, a lot of times people are looked at. There have been games, some games that could have turned tricky for us, but the kind of starts he's helped us crack open games. In the end, it actually looked easy, but on reflection as a coaching staff, when we went back and looked at it, we realized the importance of his innings in games like that. It has certainly made it easier for guys who followed," which is what we've been talking about on this show as well, that even if he gets 40 of 20 deliveries, that's huge in the context of the fast start that he's given to this team, and he's done that more often than not. Let's also talk about what he had to say about Rohit Sharma, the captain. He says his captaincy has been terrific for a long time. He's someone who's got the respect of the team and the coaching staff. It's been a pleasure to see him operate the way he has. I think he's truly someone who deserves all the success that he's been getting, and hopefully it may continue. This has turned out to be so much easier for this Indian team, Chetan, given how well they are performing. And coming into the tournament, let's face it, there were concerns. We did think that some of the players who were coming back from injury, you know, they hadn't got enough game time. India's middle order, is it going to be able to perform? But all those doubts have been laid to rest. So yes, Rahul Dravid in a easy, chilled out mood, just like everybody else, given how good this team has been.
Absolutely, Meha. You know, it's like, you know, this team is a German car, you know, very efficient, and all the engine parts have, you know, just started working, or any other machinery. To mean, it could be a Ford, you know, American Ford Classic, you know, all the parts are moving in unison. And it reminds me, you know, why this example? Because it reminds me of what MS Dhoni used to say in 2011 World Cup in the press conferences, that, you know, the Indian team is like a motorcycle. You know, obviously he's a motorcycle fanatic. Yeah. It's a motorcycle, and I'm trying to oil the parts, getting them all together, moving in one direction. And we remember 2011 was not quite as dominant, not quite, you know, like what 2023 has been for the Indian team playing at home. So in that regard, you know, MS Dhoni would, if he thinks back to 2011, he would be very happy, thinking, oh, you know what, this is a well-oiled motorcycle, you know, something that I would have preferred in 2011. Maybe that's what he may be thinking. But the crux of the matter is every part is functioning. Hardik Pandya was such a pivotal, you know, element of this Indian squad. And we've discussed so often on the show that despite his injury, he's not been missed. Probably will be missed if India needs a sixth bowler. But whether in terms of batting, whether in terms of bowling, providing those wickets, providing those breakthroughs, providing control after the first 10 overs, he's not been missed. And that, to me, is the hallmark of what can be deemed as the best side in the tournament, because such a vital player who gives such vital equilibrium to the side was taken away, and yet it did not make a difference. You look at some other teams, and if they lose their vital players, it's not going to be the same performance. Maybe Australia, but we saw how their performance dipped a bit until Glenn Maxwell rescued them. So from that aspect, India has been flawless. Just 3 more games to go. If they can continue this flawless run, another trophy beckons.
Listen, you've been castled by police jeeps, and there's a policeman who's waiting right behind you. So you're in safe hands there. Hang on. Jimmy, just talking about India's middle order, the questions around India's middle order before they came into the tournament, those have also been laid to rest. Because of how well Shreyas Iyer has batted, whenever there's been an opportunity. Even in one of the games, I remember Surya Kumar Yadav coming and providing that late flourish. Ravindra Jadeja has done the job as well with the bat. They may just be cameos, but it has taken India to a more comfortable position than they would have been had they not played those knocks. And that augurs well that you could have got a good start from Rohit Sharma, and you've got Virat Kohli stabilizing the innings, but then there are others who are just providing either that late impetus or those extra 20 to 30 runs that just gives you the cushion, right? I know your bowlers don't need it more often than not, but they give you that cushion.
So that's exactly why India are 8-0 and no other team is unbeaten, right? But I would like to also just pick up what you said, and I want to expand it. Let's just very briefly, let's look at the top 4 teams, right? Why primarily are these 4 top teams here? Each team has some weakness. No team, I mean, India, like I said, they have no weakness. But India, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand have been or are still carrying certain players who are, like I mentioned earlier, not operating at optimum level, right? But it's because others have done the heavy lifting. None more so, like you just said, than India, right? We've talked a lot about India. But let's just look at why are Pakistan and Sri Lanka and Afghanistan and Bangladesh, England, Netherlands, why are they not in the top 4? Various reasons, but they've collectively just not had enough players to do the job, right? We mentioned Shreyas Iyer, decent start after that duck, then he faded away, but he's come back with consecutive, and I want to add the word stroke-filled 50s here, right? You mentioned Jadeja, you mentioned Kuldeep, Shami, we've done shows about Shami, right? Look at South Africa. South Africa, despite a non-performer like a Temba Bavuma, can still carry a Temba Bavuma because of what the other 6 out of the top 7 are doing. Anrik Nokia, has Anrik Nokia been missed? To my mind, not at all. Australia, first 2 matches, Zampa didn't show up. Like Chetan reminded us, they were not big wickets, but the others were doing the job. Steve Smith is a passenger. Labuschagne is a passenger. Travis Head, okay, 100. He's not got 5 runs in the last 2 innings. So every team has non-performers, but the others are lifting the burden. New Zealand, whether Kane Williamson is there or not there, they're getting to 350. They almost chased down 390. So yes, India are here, Meha, but the other 3 teams, they all have players who have lifted the burden. And that burden sharing is where the other 6 teams have failed and they've been left by the wayside. But going back to your question, yes, I'm going to stick by this again. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe it'll jinx the Indian team. Hardik Pandya has not been missed. And I fully believe he will not be missed on the 15th at the Wankhede. I'm taking it match by match. I'm not saying the final yet, but I'm taking it match by match.
Okay. Now this is what Rahul Dravid had to say about Shreyas Iyer. Again, all praises for him. Loves his temperament, and he says he brings temperament. One of the things Shreyas has shown us from the time I've seen him at India A, the way he handles success and failure. He's able to bring the best out of himself under those pressure situations. He's terrific temperamentally. So when someone like him does well, you know he is going to make contribution. And which is exactly what Shreyas Iyer has been able to do, to think that he's coming back from an injury and then be that impactful in the World Cup, you know, in situations where he's come under pressure and has done well, has been absolutely incredible. Now, let's also listen to some of the fans on what they have to say about this match between India and Netherlands.
Actually, we are more excited for semis more than this match, but it's happening in Bangalore. We are so excited to attend the match. Everyone are telling some players they are giving rest, but we want Virat Kohli to play today.
Rocking from Virat, we are expecting another century from Virat actually. Absolutely a high expectation. Being second home ground, definitely Virat will not be, he will be there.
We need to win today's match and Virat will score 50 century. It's my first time experience watching cricket. Yeah, I always used to watch cricket with my father in TV and all. Yeah, I'm experiencing it in first time.
This has been the trend though. India has to win and Virat Kohli to score a century. That is what every fan wants here. Right, Chetan? Have you had a chance to speak to some of the fans?
No, not this time around. You know, just been a busy day. But let me just tell you, today nobody cares about an Indian win because it's almost a given, you know. Yeah. This is the cutout stream of cutouts that I've mentioned. I even shot a video and sent to our producer. But look, today an Indian win, you can say, is almost a given. You know, almost a given against Netherlands. Again, I don't mean any disrespect, but there's a huge gulf of, you know, in class between the two sides. The wicket is going to be really placid. So today is not about an Indian win. Today it's all about that 50th, 100 adoptive home ground. This is the home ground for him after the Kotla, perhaps even more than the Kotla. I mean, that would be a bit blasphemous because he's played all his adoptive, you know, growing up cricket, adolescent cricket in Delhi. But this place has been no less to Virat Kohli, you know, since it's made, you know, in a way what Virat Kohli is, who he is. You know, when he came in 2011, 10-11, you know, Sachin was still around. Dhoni was still around. You had the others. Rahul Dravid was still around. Virat Kohli wasn't really Virat Kohli then. It's just that when he started coming into RCB, started doing what he's doing in the IPL, RCB gave him the captaincy, and then obviously all those legends retired one by one. That's where Virat Kohli started really growing. And the mania of Virat Kohli, yes, everywhere, in all parts of the country, in all parts of the world where cricket is played, wherever you go, Indian fans will gather and they will show you the praise and love that they have for Virat Kohli, as we have been seeing throughout this World Cup, as we have been talking about throughout this World Cup. But this place is different because they don't only see him in India colours, they see him in red and black as well. They get him 12 months of a year. The rest of us get him 10 months of a year. You know, that's the basic difference. So if there's any ground where he should get his 50th, it's this ground.
By the way, for all of those who are wondering who has shot that video, that's shot by Chetan here. He turned photographer or a camera person here, a camera guy. Yeah, he's shot that video for all of us. But look at that. That is incredible. 49 different placards, right? 49 different cutouts of Virat Kohli in different poses. And everybody hoping that there's going to be a 50th. Thank you so much for sending us that video. Okay, quickly just coming to the match from last night before I come to India's toss. This is defending champions England. They ensured their qualification for the 2025 Champions Trophy and ended an overall very disappointing World Cup campaign by beating Pakistan by 93 runs. Having chosen to bat, England made 337 for 9 in 50 overs, with Ben Stokes getting 84, Joe Root 60 and Johnny Bairstow 59. In reply, Pakistan's chase never got going as David Willey in his final international match took out the openers in his first 2 overs before Babar Azam fell for 38 to Gus Atkinson. The chase stumbled against England's spinners thereafter, with Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali taking 2 wickets each as Pakistan slumped to 150 for 7. Salman Agha made it to 50. The innings ended at 244 in the 44th over. England with 6 points finished at 7th in the standings. But what this has done is that now Jos Buttler knows his future. He is going to be the captain of their ODI side, ODI white ball side for their tour to the Caribbean. That squad has just, I mean, it was, I think, released last night with only 6 players from this World Cup squad having found a place in that. There is no Joe Root, there is no Johnny Bairstow, there are a lot of others who are not part of that, but Jos Buttler continues to be captain of the side. Okay, still a few minutes before the toss, so let's just take this one. Now, all of us who've been watching this World Cup and have been watching cricket analysis have obviously also seen clips from this show on A Sports called The Pavilion. It's gaining popularity because of the cricketers who are on the show, who are sitting as analysts. There's Wasim Akram, Moeen Khan, there's Shoaib Malik there as well, and I think Misbah-ul Haq. Yes, Misbah-ul Haq is also there. Sourav Ganguly did an interview for them, and there are some some quotes from that interview that I want to put up here before we come back to the toss, where he's talking about why India has been so good at the World Cup. And of course, the comparison was with Pakistan and how Pakistan have struggled. And this is what Sourav Ganguly said. He says, IPL is not the sole reason for India's success in international cricket. He says quality cannot come from playing only IPL. Quality comes from playing 4-day, 5-day cricket. If you play more T20 cricket, you will become mediocre. I always say that play T20s, make money from T20s, but if you want to be a player, you have to play 4-day, 5-day cricket. That's the first one. He goes on to say, explain what makes India so strong. What makes India so strong? That is Rahul Dravid telling us that India are unlikely to make any changes. But this is what Sourav Ganguly said. He says, money is used in the right direction. It is used on the players. First-class cricket has seen an incredible pay rise. The first-class cricketers play cricket from September to March and then 2 months of IPL. And I think it's because of this system that the team is so strong. And of course, the match security, which is the other thing. And then he says, players should be like Wasim Akram, who could bowl 25 to 30 overs in a day. And says he was fast with the new ball and with the old ball as well. I think not only IPL, but the entire Indian cricketing infrastructure is incredible. There are so many matches, so many players, and we are lucky in that way. That's the last one, where he's talking about how we're just lucky to have this kind of a system. And you realize that, yes, Indian cricket is lucky in that way, Jamie, because when you compare them to, say, Pakistan, when you compare them to Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, you realize that, yes, that there is a system in place for these players. The domestic structure needs to be given credit in the way Indian cricket has blossomed or is blossoming.
No, absolutely. I don't always agree with what Sourav Ganguly says, but you know, in the latter part of that chat with Shahid Bhai, he really gets down to the matter. You know, why is India? He says we have the money, no doubt, with the richest board. But yes, there's the IPL, but it's not the IPL. It is domestic cricket, and we've discussed this. We on the outside seem to get a very bleak picture of what Pakistan's domestic setup is. Chetan has mentioned in past shows that when he's gone to Sri Lanka, he's seen how the club system there is not what it used to be, you know. So again, what you are is reflective of your board's financial might and administrative might, as well as your domestic structure. Why is the West Indies not here? They don't have a domestic structure to speak of. They're on their domestic 50 over tournament just got done yesterday, and I was following the knockout stage. In a 50 over matches, their scores are all 140, 147, 150, you know. That's not good signs for the 50 over game, right? Look at Sri Lanka, not happening. And why is Bangladesh? We discussed many times. Bangladesh has been playing for 35 years international cricket. Why have they not gone further? Because it all comes down to your board, the board's allegiance, the board's health, the board's financial might, and then your domestic structure. So very, very good to hear the Sourav Ganguly having come to this system. And how he says, something like Wasim Akram has also said, Sourav Ganguly said, 20 over se aapka game kahan tak jayega? Jayega. But if you want to do well in one-day cricket and first-class cricket and test cricket, you need to be playing more 4-day matches. T20, and hats off to very, very few people will say this. This is a man who himself has vested interest in T20 leagues. But still, he has said, T20 aapko sirf ek had tak leke jayega. So hats off to him for saying that.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful interview. If you haven't already watched it, it's all over the social media. It's a really nice interview where he's, you know, even sort of addressing Wasim Akram and Moin Khan, telling Moin Khan to dye his hair because his hair has gone grey. So it's a fun interview and yet a very earnest one where he's spoken well. But yes, now the toss. India have won the toss. They have opted to bat at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru. Chetan, Rohit Sharma said we're going to have a bat, no particular reason. Whether we have batted first or bowled first, we've done extremely well. Another opportunity to play well today and tick all the boxes. Extremely happy with how we played in this tournament. You've got to love Rohit Sharma for what he says at times. He just says no particular reason. I mean, you know, we just decided to bat first. Aaj man hua, aaj batting karenge.
Yeah, and he says no particular reason, and then he gives you a reason. I'm just wondering if it had been a tougher opposition, whether Australia or New Zealand, would they have chased here at this round? I mean, obviously, it would have been a different complexion of the tournament. But now, more importantly, going ahead into the tournament, into the semis, and potentially the finals, maybe India is looking to bat first. Yes, they have chased a lot in this tournament, but under Rohit Sharma, I've always felt that India is a bat first side, especially in these important games. He likes to bat first. A team is always a good reflection of its captain. Virat Kohli would have liked to chase, in certain important conditions, but Rohit Sharma prefers to bat first in that particular sense. So over the last few games also, we have seen that India has tried to bat first, opted to bat first, or wanted to bat first if it lost the toss. So no surprises there. Good use of the good first use of the pitch, and runs galore for India, I hope.
Yeah, that's what everyone's expecting now. India have won the toss. For all of you who are joining us right now, India have won the toss. They've opted to bat first against Netherlands at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru. Rohit Sharma at the toss says no particular reason really, but they've done well batting and bowling first. So they've just decided to bat first today. And he's spoken about how it's another opportunity to play well today and tick all the boxes. He's very happy with the way the team has played in the tournament, and they've gone in with the same team. So anybody who's wondering whether India are going to make any changes to their playing 11, will they rest maybe a Jasprit Bumrah, try to rotate the players, that hasn't happened. India had a 6-day gap between this game and the last one, and Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid have decided to go with the same playing 11. What this means is, given that this is one ground where you have one side, the boundary is 64 meters, the other 73, you can expect a lot of big hits. It's a flat track. Let's go across to Jamie to find out what he thinks of India choosing to bat first. Jamie.
Fantastic. This is what I've hoped would have happened at least a few more times. Hasn't happened, but look, when the team is 8-0, no need to really get critical here. It's the occasion, it's Diwali, it's the festive nation, 49 cutouts of Virat Kohli's 4900s in the one-day format, Fans will really be hoping now that 50 happens. I don't think they'll be hoping that one of the openers get out early, because we want to see Rohit Sharma, at least personally, I want to see him add another 100 to his tally, and Shubman Gill does need runs. But look, if there was one thing the fans gathered in the Chinnaswamy and making their way to the Chinnaswamy would want to hear, it's India won the toss and chose to bat. But again, beyond the obvious bias towards Virat Kohli on this day of Diwali, and how, like you said, I'm on the same page. I want to get this 50 mumbo jumbo out of the way so that we can look ahead to the semifinals. India needed to bat beyond Virat Kohli, because, like I said, and Chetan said, and you've also agreed, Meha, you cannot go into the knockouts, where you struggled for a long time. You cannot go into the knockouts with one template, and that is, hum kuch bhi chase kar lenge. Bat first, bat first, bat first. And I'm very glad it's happened today.
Okay, Chetan found something funny. Let's put him on a big screen as well, or at least give him the full screen so that we can see some of the fans behind him as well. He is outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. But yes, Chetan, what was so funny?
Jamie said that India needs to bat beyond Virat Kohli. It's not the day to say that, Jamie. It's not the day to say that. Didn't you see the cutouts? It's not that day today. But look, if it's a day for your predictions, it's the day to say, you know what, India will get 400. And one of the top three to get a double 100. I don't think Virat Kohli will quite get a double 100. I mean, obviously he can. There is no doubt. He can do anything, really. He's Destiny's child. But in terms of sheer gameplay, the kind of acceleration that you need in the latter half of your innings to get a double 100, that's down to Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. So a Virat Kohli 100 and a double 100 for the two openers, and 400 for India. I've already done your prediction for you, Meha.
Crazy. That's a crazy prediction, but it can happen at the Chinnaswamy. Okay, Scott Edwards, the Netherlands captain, at the toss says they would have liked to bat first as well. Looks like a pretty good wicket, good ground for chasing. And he said that we've had 2 wins, looking to give a good performance today. This is going to be the biggest crowd we've had for the tournament. So looking forward to that atmosphere. And you can imagine what this must mean for a team like Netherlands to be playing a World Cup against India in India. The occasion itself, to be able to just absorb what it's like playing against India in India. A World Cup in India is as big as it gets. This is what Scott Edwards is saying. To win those games, it's been big for us, and it's the same side that they've gone in with as well. And he said this is going to be the biggest crowd we've had for the tournament. Looking forward to that atmosphere that's going to be there. So in that sense, Jamie, this is a huge opportunity. Like I was saying, for a team like Netherlands, when they're playing against a sold out against India in a stadium where there's sold out crowd, you're looking for those little victories as well. You know, I'm not going to say it, but getting an Indian wicket. I'm not going to take any names. But, you know, little things where mini battles that you win. You may not win the match, given the, you know, the contrast between the two teams. But you can win these mini battles. And I think that will be important as well for Netherlands.
You can also win an IPL contract if you get some big wickets in front of the Indian crowd.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, let's be a bit realistic. Let's just dial it back. There's a reason that Netherlands are at the bottom of the points table. Yes, they've pulled off two amazing upsets. South Africa, Bangladesh. These are upsets by any means of looking at it. But it's because associate level teams. Not so much the Irelands and Scotland because of their proximity to England and its domestic setup, but a team like the Netherlands, who rely on 80%, 90% players coming in from outside. The more their campaign is stretched, the more the obvious weaknesses and the pressure on the players will tell. Now they've done very, very well. They pushed a couple other teams without winning, but their overall, I would say, good World Cup, because of the two wins they got, is now going to end against the team which is 8-0, going to be 9-0, everyone's favorite. And, now you pile on what we've been discussing, the Shubman Gill getting a double or Rohit. Yes, I think this is the day when it should happen. Yeah. And then the occasion of Virat Kohli's 50-100. There's very little. They have a very, very small but loyal base of traveling Dutch fans. This is a match which perhaps they would not have wanted to play. They probably would have wanted to get this match out of the way. From a Dutch perspective, they would have probably wanted to play one of the weaker teams so that they had a better chance to end that campaign. We often remember where teams leave off, where they end, not so much what they did, A Dutch team adding a second or a third win would have been a fantastic way for them all to leave Indian shores. It's not going to happen. It's unfair. This is David versus Goliath. Yes, of course, there's always a mathematical chance that the Dutch could win. But because their performances have quite sadly tapered off, Meha, I don't think we're going to see anything. I mean, how good was Bas de Leede at the start? Now he's the most expensive bowler. Colin Ackerman, I don't think he's had a good match at all. They've shuffled the openers. Kabhi O'Dowd aata hai, kabhi Vikramjit aata hai,
Yeah.
So it's, I think, Sibran Engelbrecht, a player who just after he came off that 2008 T20 Under-19 World Cup win, when he was in Bangalore, he was part of one of those Champions League franchises that Chetan was talking about. I had the opportunity to speak to him inside the very ground in which Chetan will now go. At that point, he was being called the next John T. Rhodes, the next fielder. The guy never ended up playing for South Africa. He had to leave South Africa. He had to walk away from cricket. For him to get this second lease on life as an adopted Dutch player, and I think he's their highest run getter, if not their second highest. It's things like this which sort of augur well for the Dutch. I wish them well, but really, really feeling sorry that they have to end their campaign playing India at the Chinnaswamy and having to bowl first.
Okay, so there you have it. India won the toss. They've opted to bat first at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru against Netherlands. Rohit Sharma at the toss saying there's no particular reason why he chose to bat first, and they've gone in with the same team. All eyes will be, of course, on Virat Kohli and whether he can get to his 50th ODI century on Diwali. That's what people are hoping for. That's what fans have come to that stadium for. That's what Chetan has been informing us as well. Scott Edwards at the toss said that he also wanted to bat first, but the occasion itself is grand and he loves the fact that they're playing against India in their last match. It's going to be a big crowd and he's looking forward to the atmosphere there. They've also gone in with the same team from the last game. So that's the news from the Chinnaswamy, and the pitch report says that it is, of course, it's an absolute batting beauty. Sanjay Manjakar and Aaron Finch said that this is that kind of a surface. As a batter, you see that and you start licking your lips. And India will be batting first. So you can expect lots of 4s and 6s, which I'm going to then ask Chetan quickly. I know I'm going to come to the predictions part of it, but I've asked you about Narendra Modi Stadium, Chetan. Is there a problem? Do they want you to move?
No, just the police is just shifting around. It's a parking lot, apparently, just outside. Like I said, everything is happening on the street outside the stadium, so no problem really. It's just a lot of movement is happening with the police moving their cars and etc. etc. But yeah, no problem.
Just quickly, I know we're running out of time, but just quickly, the difference between Chinnaswamy and say Narendra Modi Stadium or Wankhede. I'm just talking about iconic ones, Eden Gardens. How different is this for all those?
This is different, as in you feel a different vibe, a different energy out here. Wankhede to me is the best ground in the country, but this is probably second or third, depending on where you place Chepauk. But there's a different energy, cricket fans in Bengaluru coming to watch Virat Kohli. There's a different feel, there's a different energy about any game that happens at the Chinnaswamy. And you need to go to Eden, you need to go to Wankhede, you need to go to Chepauk. And obviously, Chinnaswamy is in that list of venues as well.
Okay. I think all three of us will agree that India will win this game, but you wanted to predict the score for India, Chetan and Jamie?
I would say around 400, right? I said 400, yes. So yeah, I would say 380, given that it's a great batting pitch. I'm expecting fireworks from the batsmen. Rohit Sharma is in great mood, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli. Yeah, I would say 350, 380 easily.
Okay. Jamie?
Yeah, the target should be 380. Yep. Nothing less than 380.
Okay, hopefully it is a 400 target. India end up scoring 400. I mean, why not? This is Diwali. You want to expect as much as you can. It's a so yes, the fireworks, the Diwali dhamaka that we've all been hoping for. But thank you so much, Chetan. Enjoy the game at the Chinnaswamy. Enjoy the vibe, the atmosphere, the ambience. And Jamie Alter, thank you so much for joining us here. That's it then. A very happy Diwali once again to all of you. Have a wonderful Sunday, and hopefully it ends with a big India win. I'm 100% sure that will happen, but just in case, we hope that it is an India win. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.